Imagine waking up one morning to find the ground beneath your feet has shifted, so subtly, so silently, that you never heard a thing. No rumbling, no warning, just the quiet rearrangement of a continent. Sounds like science fiction? Welcome to the weird, wild world of the Cascadia Subduction Zone, a geological ticking time bomb hidden beneath the Pacific Northwest, and the source of what experts call the silent earthquake. Let's set the scene. Stretching from Northern California, past Oregon and Washington, all the way up to Vancouver Island in Canada, the Cascadia Subduction Zone is a 600-mile-long crack where two massive tectonic plates, the Juan de Fuca and the North American, are locked in a slow-motion wrestling match. Most people living above it have no idea it's there. Yet, it's capable of unleashing one of the most powerful natural disasters on Earth, the megathrust earthquake. Now, here's where things get positively mind-boggling. Unlike California's infamous San Andreas Fault, which delivers quick, sharp jolts, Cascadia's megathrust quakes are in a league of their own. The last time it went off, way back on January 26, 1700, the quake was so massive it sent a tsunami racing across the entire Pacific Ocean, slamming into the coast of Japan hours later. Japanese records from that night tell of an orphan tsunami with no local quake to explain it. For years, the source was a mystery, until scientists pieced together the puzzle across continents. Imagine a natural disaster so big, it leaves its calling card halfway around the world. But here's the real kicker. The Cascadia Subduction Zone doesn't just produce earthquakes you can feel. Every 14 months or so, it unleashes something called a slow slip event, an earthquake that happens in total silence, lasting weeks rather than seconds. No buildings shake, no windows rattle, but deep underground, the Earth is shifting. It's like nature's stealth mode, a seismic ninja, quietly releasing energy that would otherwise build up to catastrophic levels. Or at least that's the hope. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about subduction zones. These are geological pressure cookers found in just a handful of places around the globe. The Ring of Fire, circling the Pacific Ocean, is packed with them. Think Indonesia, Japan, Chile, all places famous for megaquakes and volcanoes. But Cascadia is different. It's been eerily quiet in the modern era. No major earthquakes in written history, which, geologically speaking, is a little like finding a bear that's been asleep for 300 years. Sooner or later, it's going to wake up. If you look at the land itself, the Pacific Northwest is a living, breathing record of its violent past. Take a drive along the Oregon coast and you'll find ghost forests, groves of dead, salt-killed trees, their roots preserved in mud, standing as silent witnesses to the last big quake. Native American legends speak of a night when the earth shook and the sea swallowed villages whole. Science and story, hand in hand. Here's a wild fact. Scientists estimate that Cascadia's megathrust fault has produced at least 41 major earthquakes in the last 10,000 years. That's about one every 243 years. The last one was over 300 years ago. Do the math, and you'll see why seismologists are uneasy. When the plates finally snap, we're talking about a potential magnitude 9.0 earthquake, one of the largest possible on Earth. For comparison, the 2011 Tohoku earthquake that devastated Japan was a 9.0. The difference? The Pacific Northwest is far less prepared. But earthquakes don't just shake the ground. They ripple through cultures, economies, and even languages. Did you know that the Japanese word tsunami became part of the world's vocabulary after the 1700 Cascadia quake sent giant waves to their shores? Or that coastal First Nations in British Columbia passed down oral histories of the shaking ground long before geologists could explain it? Sometimes the oldest records aren't written in books, but in the stories people tell. There's plenty of strange nature trivia lurking in Cascadia, too. The region is home to ancient rainforests that thrive on the mineral-rich soil created by past earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Some trees in the Hoh rainforest are over 1,000 years old, meaning they've survived multiple megathrust quakes. And if you venture into the tide pools along the coast, you might find species that rode tsunamis across the Pacific, clinging to floating logs like miniature castaways. And what about the human side? The cities of Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver are built on land that's, quite literally, on the edge. In Seattle, the downtown area is constructed on artificial fill, soft ground that could turn to liquid in a megaquake, a phenomenon known as liquefaction. Imagine skyscrapers swaying, bridges buckling, and highways rippling like waves. It's a scenario straight out of a disaster movie, but it's all too real. Yet, life goes on. People in the Pacific Northwest sip their artisanal coffee, bike to farmers' markets, and hike among towering evergreens, mostly unaware of the sleeping beast below. Emergency planners urge residents to keep go bags and survival supplies, but old habits die hard. There's a certain stubborn optimism here, a belief that the beauty of the land is worth the risk. Cascadia's hidden danger is a reminder of how the world's most dramatic stories are often invisible, unfolding quietly beneath our feet. The silent earthquake isn't just a geological oddity. It's a metaphor for all the unseen forces that shape our lives. And maybe, just maybe, it's a call to pay a little more attention to the mysteries of our planet. So next time you walk through a misty forest or hear the crash of waves on a Pacific beach, remember, the ground beneath you has a secret. One day, it might decide to share it in the most spectacular way. The question is, are we listening? What other hidden forces are quietly shaping our world, just out of sight? Stick around, because the Earth always has another secret to reveal.